What's up everyone, James here, and in today's video I want to talk about something a little bit different to what is normally discussed on the internet, and that is trying something different in your aquariums. Now what I mean by different is, when you think of an aquarium, what do you see? Normally you see a crystal clear, pristine glass box with lots of plants and lots of vibrant fish and colours. And when you think about it, really, the fish that you have in those aquariums, is that their natural habitat? You know, the type of environment that they would have normally. Now, when you have a look online at various different rivers and lakes around the world, where a lot of these fish come from, a lot of the time you will see that the floors of the riverbeds are covered in leaf litter. You know, they've got wood, roots, and all this various other different organic materials in the water, along with sometimes a lot of flow, and also the conventional tinted color, which is a slightly off color to your aquarium. You'll probably notice this when adding a piece of driftwood into the aquarium, or maybe a catappa leaf or something like that. Often you'll notice that suddenly your water starts to go a bit murky and a bit of a funny color. Now, actually, using botanicals or leaves and all that sort of stuff helps replicate a more natural environment to our aquariums, which can be massively beneficial. And if you think about it, it makes complete sense, like why we struggle to, you know, go for perfect water conditions and clear water and vibrant colors and lots of plants and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't mimic the actual natural habitats of these fish. So what I'm trying to say is, basically, when thinking about your next aquascape or your next aquarium, or even for beginners into the hobby, maybe try something different to what you're seeing on the internet, and creating something a bit more natural to the home of the animals that you keep. And what you'll notice is massive health benefits to what you're doing for the fish. You'll notice a lot more natural behavior from the animals themselves. I've got some great examples right now. Since I set up my own little sort of natural style aquarium, it's only sort of in the early stages, so I'm constantly adding new botanicals and different bits and pieces to keep, you know, sort of build the ecosystem, as you will. And what I've noticed already is that my panda corydoras have started spawning. And what I've noticed is a lot of natural behavior in terms of the way that they lay their eggs. I've got a clip, so hopefully I'll add that to the segment here. Yeah, I mean, the corydoras are going inside the leaves that are all broken up and laying their eggs in them, which is something that you don't normally get. And I know this from experience as well, because I have a heavily planted tank just behind me right now, and I have corydoras in there. And they are completely different. I mean, the cories have just been placing the eggs on the glass and full exposure to, you know, other fish that are in the aquarium. So it shows that the different types of behaviors that you get in. That's kind of my point, really. You know, and there's so much stuff, really cool stuff that you can do with these sort of natural aquariums, and it's not about just, you know, the artsy sort of side of stuff, which is great, and I love aquascaping and I love the techniques that come with it and stuff like that. I think you can make some really beautiful pieces of underwater art, but again, like I said, when we're creating these natural habitats of fish, they don't see art, they just see tons of random stuff dumped into a river. You know, it could be placed wherever. So that's the point, is that is the kind of more natural habitat that you would probably see from a, you know, from the fish that you keep. Just Google, like, you know, Brazilian rainforest river streams or something like that, you know, and you'll see a lot of the tropical fish that we keep in their natural habitats, and it's such an amazing thing to watch. You know, a great example of this is probably a lot of the fish that you keep in actually thrive better in a lower pH, and also tannins and blackwater and murky water and stuff like that. You know, killifish, for example, are one of the most vibrantly coloured fish, and yet they come from very murky, tannin, you know, botanical filled leaf litter, all of the rest of it kind of styled rivers, or not styled, but you know, natural habitat. So yeah, when they get put into an aquarium, usually they're in a massively clear planted, filled you know, glass box. So it's just something to think about. I think that's what I'm trying to make the point of on this one. And there's so many cool things that you can use for your aquariums. I mean, I've got some examples right here. These are Indian almond leaves, or catappa leaves. A lot of people would associate these with betta fish, because they have a lot of natural health benefits when using them, from the tannins that they leak into the aquarium. Also, botanicals, as their organic matter break down and they cause biofilm, which is like funguses and stuff that you might have seen on brand new pieces of wood putting into your aquarium, and animals eat that, you know, so you're getting a lot of benefits from putting botanicals and organic items into the aquarium. You know, there's alder cones, seed pods, you know, various different bits and pieces, and some of these break down at slower rates as well, so you get like depth to your aquarium, you know. And that's one thing that's really cool about it, is that, you know, over a long period of time, as these materials break down, new things will start to happen inside the aquarium. And that makes for so much more interest, you know, because different things are happening. You know, you've got the leaves that are breaking down, but then you've got new ones started, and then the animals have noticed different you know, different things being introduced, you know, and that could encourage different behaviours from territory adjustments. You know, some of the animals could decide that the hierarchy of the group is now different, because you know, it's a different environment, so they might challenge you know, the alpha males and stuff. You know, so there's lots of really cool things that you can do. If you get into the real heavy nitty-gritty stuff, there's some even more cooler things, but I think for this video I just want to give a little sort of an oversight, really. One thing to know when using botanicals in your aquarium is obviously they are going to be altering the water parameters. A lot of the time will be your pH, so just be careful of dumping just loads of random botanical pieces into your aquarium at one time, because that could cause parameter swings. So the best option is to start with 1 or 2 bits and pieces, and then slowly build the ecosystem as you go, sort of thing, you know. And always make sure you boil and you know, boil any materials that you put in, because you don't know what kind of items or critters or anything that you're putting, you know, that could be potentially fatal to your fish, you know, popped into the aquarium. So just stick them into a saucepan with some hot water, boil it for a little while, and then put them into your aquarium. Another piece of advice is the water that you used in your saucepan is not, you know, always the best option to put it into the actual tank. I mean, that will create a massive blackwater, you know, proper deep tea-stained color, but you know, you don't know what kind of items or bacteria and anything that is in that water, so it's best to just boil it, put it down the drain, and then let the products naturally release the kind of the tannins that they're going to. Yeah, so that's all I've got to say, really. It's such a cool like part of the hobby. A lot of the time it's misunderstood as well. I think people, when they see dirt or mold or funguses appearing in their aquarium, people instantly go, oh my god, that's you know, that's not right, that shouldn't be there. You know, it's the same thing with algae. If you go into look into these riverbeds and stuff, algae will be everywhere, you know, all over the plants, all over the substrate and things like that, and yet the fish are thriving in it, you know. And a lot of fish use algae to lay eggs and stuff like that. So, you know, there's some really cool things that happen with the natural things that go on in you know, in nature. So it's just a different side to the hobby, really, as opposed to your sort of your general fully heavily planted, pristine aquarium, you know, and I absolutely love them style aquariums as well. I have, you know, my heavily planted tank, my shrimp tank is exactly the same, so, you know, it's really cool to have different varieties, I think, in what you're doing. I think it would be pretty boring if I had just everything exactly the same. Yeah, it's just fascinating to watch. And I mean, I sat there, it was really sad, it's come from a fish keeper, I guess, but you know, I sat there the other day for about half an hour just staring at my aquarium, and I noticed so many cool different things that were happening. And I'm sure you've seen on my social media, I posting like a few bits, and you can find art in this, you know, if you've got the eye for it, you know, the leaves breaking down and the skeleton that sort of appears from the leaf as it's died off, and that is just, yeah, it's just really cool. So I just wanted to talk about it. I feel like there's not enough exposure to it, and since, you know, I've got my YouTube channel and stuff, and I have a good passion for this and something I want to pursue going forward a lot more, you know, it's good to talk about. So, you know, hopefully that's something for you to have a think about, and you might already be doing it, you know, but if you are, let me know. It'd be great to have a chat and stuff. So that's all I've got to say, really. I hope you liked this video. It's something a bit different. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, really. Yeah, until next time, you stay safe.